Hey folks, welcome to the podcast. My name's Dave from Dave Shields Fitness. I would also like to welcome all the people that are watching on YouTube. Yes, if you would like to watch me instead of just listen to me droning on, then I'll put a link in the description to the YouTube video that will be up shortly. So today I wanted to talk to you about heart disease. It can be a negative subject, but the reason why I want to talk about it is it often gets forgotten about, particularly when people are thinking about their health and their fitness. They often think about wanting to get their weight down, wanting to look good, wanting the six pack, wanting to wear the skinny dress, the skinny jeans. And we kind of forget about what's going on inside our bodies, because the thing with heart disease is we can't see it. We can maybe feel it, but we can't actually see it. So it does get forgotten about. The other reason was it's so prevalent worldwide. It is the biggest killer, all-cause mortality in the world. And that just can't be ignored. In 1990, there was, I think the statistics were 1 in 4 people would die from a coronary heart disease. And today it's 1 in 3, so it's getting worse. Now the sad thing is it can be avoidable to some extent. Now there is an element of the genetic lottery. So if you've got family predisposed to having heart attacks and heart problems, then the key message is to get in there early and get it diagnosed that you have got that you are going to be prevalent to heart disease in the future. But if you catch it young, there's things you can do about it. Now, generally, we can all improve our chances in terms of cardiovascular disease. And it's our same old friends, diet and exercise, that are going to come to our rescue, if you like. Now, the good news is there's a lot of low-hanging fruit there. So first of all, if you are, say, over 50 and you've got a history of heart disease in your family, then I would be straight down to the doctors and getting a health checkup. Now, what they will do is they'll get you in, they'll give you a blood test, they can check your cholesterol levels, they'll have a lifestyle questionnaire with you, height and weight and all that kind of stuff, and they'll give you a score. And it's a percentage, and it will be your percentage of the chances of you having a heart attack or having heart problems in the next 10 years. And if that percentage is over a certain amount, I think it's over 10% chance, then, that's when they'll start taking measures, and they'll give you, measures to put in place to try and mitigate the chances. Now, like I say, there is an element of the genetic lottery in this, and there is a few kind of myths around heart disease. The fact that it's only for old people to worry about, that's just not true. That there's that young people can develop heart problems as well, and things like cardiovascular disease, they take years, to take hold in your body. So there's things that you can do if you're 40, if you're under, if you're 30, then there's things you can do that are going to mitigate the chances of you getting heart disease later on in life. So don't be thinking you're young. It's it's only for the over 60s, for the over 70s. The other thing is about diet related, and you're eating a lot of oil or a high fat diet, you're going to get heart disease. It's going to clog up your arteries. That's not strictly true. There is kind of things like I'd loathe to call it good and bad cholesterol, but we need cholesterol in our bodies. It performs an important function, but we can get bad cholesterol, and they're split down into LDL and HDL, and the low density lipoproteins, or the LDL, is the bad stuff, if you like. And what this does, what the cholesterol does, it kind of transports your molecules around the blood, and to give you nutrients, to send this stuff around your body and send it to where it's needed. And some proteins that this is attached to in your bloodstream keeps hold of this stuff. It doesn't allow it to get off, if you like, at the various places. So the LDL matches up with some of your proteins and causes these problems. Most of the dietary fats that we eat, in fact, we do excrete out on the toilet. So it's not like you're shoving loads of oil down your mouth and it's clonking up like a sink drain. If only it was that simple. So, but there are good fats and bad fats. We've got monounsaturates, we've got polyunsaturates, and they all act in our bodies in different ways. Now, as evidence of this, the countries like in the blue zones, for example, your Japans and your Mediterranean countries, they will have diets that are, fairly high in olive oil, but they have low heart disease cases of heart disease. So it's not strictly true that if you eat a high fat diet that you're going to get heart disease. But certainly a lot of the trans fats will help you on your way to getting heart disease. So sorting out your diet in terms of good fats and bad fats, and I'm using that in inverted commas if you like, then you're going to be going a long way to mitigating the chances of heart disease. The other thing is exercise. Getting lots of good quality exercise, strength training, but also zone 2 training, what I like to call it. So zone 2 is you're getting your heart rate up, not really high. You're not doing high impact, HIIT training, but you're getting it up high enough so that you're just about getting out of breath, and you can sustain that for a good 30 minutes to an hour. Now, the government guidelines are saying you should be getting, cardiovascular exercise sort of at about 2 hours per week. However, longer than that would be beneficial. So that's why I've taken to rucking. I've just done a video around rucking, and that, like I said in that video, it allows me to get my heart rate up to this sort of zone 2 sweet spot, if you like, without it becoming too high. But enough that it's going to keep my heart going at a certain pace that it's actually going to do some good. So I'm in effect training my heart. Now, like I say, you're not really going to notice the difference for training your heart. So it's something that you've got to get your head around, that to sorting your diet out. Getting your weight down is also a good way of taking the strain off your heart, if you like. So keeping your weight into manageable limits. That's why your GP, for general population, most people, they will look at your diet, they will look at your BMI, and they will look at your blood pressure. These are all sort of indicators that you might be prevalent to having heart disease later on in life. So let's take a 40-year-old, for example. They're a non-smoker, they drink a bit, they're carrying a bit of weight, they've got quite a high BMI, and they've got high blood pressure because they're stressed, and if they go to the doctors, they get a cholesterol check, and the cholesterol check is quite high, then they're going to be more like the likelihood of getting them heart disease in the future is going to be quite high. So that person can tackle that leading in up until the age of up to 50. In the next 10 years, they can start to get their weight under control, get their cholesterol down, and really see that score come down, the percentage score I was talking about, to getting that down really low. So that's the sort of thing that we can do. It gels quite nicely with the general health and fitness plans that you might be on. So say you do want to lose weight, you are going to be watching what you eat. I would be more looking at the quality of your food. Okay, so lots of fresh fruit, vegetables, olive oil. Avoid cooking with oil if you can. I've started, one reason I've started not cooking with oil, because it's just got so bloody expensive. So I've started to broil, like onions, for example. I don't fry them now. I'll put a little bit of water in the pan, and I'll just sort of fry them in water, if you like, so broil them in water to soften them up. So starting to use that, cutting down on your cakes and pastries, unfortunately. A lot of these have hydrogenated fats in them just to keep them solid and make them last a long time, the stuff that you buy in the shops. So watching what you eat in terms of all that kind of processed food, I guess is what I'm meaning by that. So low on the processed food. Check your blood pressure regularly. Buy yourself a monitor. I've got one off Amazon. Again, I'll put a link to one in the description. It is an affiliate link, by the way, so I will get a small commission from it. Buy yourself a blood pressure monitor and check your blood pressure once a week. Keep it in that sweet spot. The sweet spot, 120/80. It's kind of, the gold standard is now a bit lower than that. So we're looking, between 110 and 115 over, say, 60 or 70. That's kind of the gold standard. So let's keep our blood pressure down and manageable. Lots of exercise. Get yourself to the doctors if you're over 50 and get yourself checked out. Okay, if you've got history of heart disease in your family and you are a little bit younger, then get yourself to the doctors again and get yourself checked out with a blood. You get your blood pressure checked and you get your bloods done, get your cholesterol level, and get them to do this check. They give you a percentage. If you're worried about that, they should see you if you have got a history of it in your family. Okay, folks, so that's it. Moving forward, look after your heart. So next week, I'm going to be more back onto the training side of things. I'm going to be talking all things kettlebells. I do love kettlebells next week. So if you're a fan of the kettlebell or you have one kicking round, then watch out for that, because that should be a good one. Okay, folks, stay fit and healthy until then, and bye for now.